I'm super excited to have you here today. I feel like the first time I met you, like we instantly clicked, and you're a very intelligent woman, and just the whole home styling thing excites me because it's a personal interest of mine. So Tiffany Schwarz, welcome.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. So I want to start out by asking a little bit about yourself, like where you're from, your kind of your journey to here, anything that kind of made you become who you are. So share your story.
All right, so I was born in the Pacific Northwest. I was born right north of Seattle, and I grew up, I call it Free Willy. So I grew up in Puget Sound, Bellingham, Washington. So right by the border, right by the ocean. Moved down here when I was 16. And I just, finished high school down here. I actually started taking care of a home on Casey Key, and I actually still take care of that home. So I got to, they pushed me a little bit to do some designing there. But I really became a home manager quite fast. And then I became a nurse. And I started nursing. And then when I had my children, I wanted to slow down a little bit.
Sure.
And then we built a home, and that's how I really got into the home design. I've always had an interest in it, but we built in a new community here called Sky Ranch. And I started from a blank slate. And then all my neighbors were starting from a blank slate, and everyone was asking my opinion, and that's how everything got started.
See, and that's what I love. And I love the fact that you're passionate, obviously, about what you do. And before we started recording, you talked a little bit about, your $1,000 chair versus, the $300 chair. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because that's what I love about you. It sounds like you look for the piece and then create the room and just make it really special. So I feel like that where you get your furniture, how much you spend on your furniture should financially and aesthetically fit the space and your life. So we're not going to put a $5,000 chair in a room that's going to have toddlers in it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So basically, when you are designing a space, I need to know about your family. I need to know about your finances, what you're willing to spend, because there are ways to do things to make things look really upscale and really nice that can be for fractions of the cost of what you think they would be. You know what I mean? And just to draw your eye in, be like, well, that only cost, $20, but that's what everybody notices when they walk into a room. And so you don't always have to have the restoration hardware dining room set. You don't always have to have, the newest and greatest outdoor furniture from West Elm, or you can have it, but we're going to wait till it goes on sale.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the beauty of it, because so like I said, I have a personal interest in that, and I know it works for me, and I kind of like feel the space, and I know what I like, and I'm like, yeah, I like this piece here. I'm always shopping for a bargain because it could really get expensive. And I've seen beautiful homes, but I've also seen homes done on a budget. So you obviously get in the space and feel it, and then ask a lot of questions. But how do they come up with a budget? Like, how do you know?
When I walk into a space, I automatically know what their budget is pretty much before they already tell me.
Okay.
And it's just a feeling I have. I can see what they've already invested in. I pretty much probably already know where it's from. It's just the eye.
Do your homework.
Yeah. And so I kind of know already, like, I can tell if I walk into a space where they're willing to go with it. You know what I mean? Sometimes they surprise me, and sometimes they might surprise me and throw out, well, I really love this $3,000 table, and I have to bring them back down real quick because you want that $3,000 table, but now you need 8 chairs to go with it.
And that's your budget right
and
there.
And that's your budget. And you also have 2 toddlers. So that $3,000 table is going to be worth about $500 in a year. And then they're like, you want to know what? I'm right. I'm like, you could take, you could buy $1,000, do your whole set, and take a nice vacation with your family for $2,000. And then they're like, oh, wait, I really could. That sounds fantastic. Let's try it, because my whole philosophy is that if things are done systematically, it leaves you with the resources left over to do things with your friends and family. We all work, right? We all make money. Mm-hmm. So we all make money to do amazing things. My passion's to travel. So that's why I work really hard. So I get to travel. And so it's whatever your passion is, you need to, finance that passion. But if you're spending money on ridiculous pieces of furniture that really you don't even need because we could do it for, make it more affordable to do, then, you're wasting your money, and we want that money to be there to do things that matter. Furniture in the end doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But your family matters.
And I love that. So you take it. See, that's what makes you so unique.
Personable.
Yeah, because not only are you creating a wonderful space for them, but you're allowing them to live their life and take vacations. And I'm sure you're inspired a lot by traveling everywhere. Do some people like eclectic styles?
Yeah.
Where not one piece is the same and it's so different.
Yeah, I actually I did periodically on my Instagram and on my Facebook. I do a giveaway of a design consultation.
Oh, wow.
And I just did one, and someone actually won local. And I went to her space, and her space is, her style is boho beachy. What's different from boho beachy than coastal? It's so different. And if I could give you like two pieces of furniture to kind of explain that, it's very, boho beachy is very eclectic. There's more colors and Over here, I'm going to have a seagrass chair. I'm going to have, not canvas, linen, things that remind us over here of coastal areas, not like per se like a seahorse on something, but we're going to use textures and stuff. But over here, it's more, we're going to have more baskets. We're going to have more rattan chairs. We're going to have, so it's so big. But to me, that's more of an eclectic style is the boho beachy, because more people go for the coastal, especially where we live.
Florida, yeah. I know I like the, I guess, transitional type style. I like that warmth, like cozy, but the wood feel. I don't even know what it's called. I just know what I like, Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to show me what you like. You just have to put it in front of me and say, I love this Pinterest board, or I love this piece of furniture, or I love this. And then we build it from there.
Okay, so why don't you tell us how people can find you?
Okay. So I'm on Instagram, Styled with the Dane. And I'm also on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, Styled with the Dane. You can always give me a call. My number is 941-232-6133. You can text me if that's easier. We all live really, really busy lives. You can shoot me a text and say, hey, can you come over? How I work is I have a 2-hour minimum. Okay. Design consultation. It's very affordable. It doesn't cost, I don't want it to cost the same as a piece of furniture that I want to put in your space. So I make it so affordable. We go through your spaces and we see what's going to work, what you want to keep, what you don't want to keep. And I try to get a feel for the space of where I see it headed.
That's awesome. I noticed you keep referring Style with the Dane. I mean, I know a little bit about the Dane, but could you share with us where that name came from?
So
who inspired you?
Yeah, so I have a rescue Great Dane. Her name is Quinn. I got her at 4 months old from the North Florida Great Dane Rescue in Pensacola. And she is a Velcro dog. So she is attached to my thigh. And when I'm doing things around my house, she's always with me. She is a toddler. She is pulling things out of bags, just walking around with them, just trying to help.
Your little helper.
Yeah, she's my little helper, and that's where I came up with the name Styled with the Dane, because she makes me so happy. She brings me so much joy, and people would joke, your dog matches your house.
Oh my gosh.
And they're like, why does, of course your dog matches your house. I'm like, I didn't really plan that. She just, she fell onto our lap. We fell in love with her, and she brings me a lot of joy. So that's how I came up with Styled with the Dane.
I love that. And I did see a picture of her on the bed, with the bed or a piece of furniture.
Ottoman.
She does fit right in. And yeah, I love dogs. So that's another thing that I love about you. So when somebody does reach out to you, can you just go over the process?
Yes. So you're going to reach out to me and say, this is what I need help with. Then we're going to schedule the 2-hour consultation. And I will come to your house and we will go through literally everything. 2 hours is more than enough time. So in that time frame, we just chat. It's like we're friends. It's relaxed. I also do not want you to clean your house before I come over.
Okay.
That is a stipulation. I tell them, do not clean your house. I want to see how you really live, because I need to see where I'm going to put storage. I need to see where I'm going to put things. And I think it can be intimidating having someone who decorates houses come to your house because you feel like they're going to be judging you, but that's not the case. I have messy spaces in my home too. I have a family. It's real life, you know? So I come over and then I say, okay, these are my ideas. I'm going to put together a consultation for you. And if you'd like to move forward, then I just charge hourly. And so how that works is I can come over, I can help you decorate, I can go shopping with you.
Fun.
I can source
Best
things.
Part.
Yeah, I can go. So you can take me wherever you want to go, whatever stores you like. Or if you need me to recommend stores, we can go there. We can shop together. It's the same price. I want everything to be so affordable because I need you to spend your money on getting your space amazing and not on me.
Yeah, because they're living in the space.
Yeah.
And,
you know.
And not only do you want it to make it look beautiful, but you also obviously want it functional and what works for them. I would think it's a challenge to find certain pieces. So if you have like this idea of what you want.
Yeah. So I'm a digger. I am a digger. I'm a hunter. I will find it, and I will find it for the best price. I have a neighbor. She showed me, I want to say the rug was around $1,400, $1,450 from Anthropologie. Beautiful rug. That's expensive for a rug. She did have 2 pets, but they were very small. We're talking like 6-pound dogs. Okay. So I'll allow it. You know, they're not going to ruin the rug. Sometimes I would have heart palpitations on that. I'm not going to buy my Great Dane a $1,400 rug. You know, she's a big girl. So she said to me, I really want this rug, but I don't want to spend this much money. So I looked up the rug. I found the manufacturer, everything. And I found the rug actually on eBay for, I want to say $860. She ordered the rug. The rug came. It's in her living room, and she saved a lot of money.
And she loves it.
She loves it.
I love stories like that.
She loves it. So, yeah. So I call it like I'm the hunter. I'm the gatherer. People are like, how did you get that for that? You know, because if you want instant gratification, then you're going to pay more money. But if you just give me a little bit of time, I might not always be able to find what you want, but I'm going to find something very close. Or I'd say, I can't, if you are totally in love with that piece, let's invest in it. And then we'll cut the budget in a few other places, you know? But yeah, but I mean, you can decorate a whole room and spend $10,000 in a blink of an eye, I
believe it.
And I don't feel like it needs to be, when people actually walk into my home and they start asking me how much, because I'm very open, this is how much I paid for this, their jaw drops. They're because shocked. I have a pair of chairs. I walked into TJ Maxx Home Goods. I saw these pair of chairs. By the way, if you're there and you see something, buy it, because someone will snake it from you.
Yeah.
You know, if they see you looking at it and there's only one, you know, or a pair, you know, and it was a pair of chairs, and I fell in love with their wingback nail studded, but they had this beautiful gray stripe down them. They're on my Instagram if you want to go look at them. And I looked up those chairs, and the non-studded version of those chairs were on One Kings Lane for over $2,000 a piece. And at the time, pre-COVID, when prices were a little bit cheaper, they were $349 a piece. But they look like $2,000 wingback chairs, but they're not, you know. But everything, you know, 3 different retail companies can buy from the same place and slap their own price on it. So there's so many ways that I know how to find that exact piece sometimes for a couple $100 less. You know, you don't always have to. Sometimes Pottery Barn, you can find the same things on Amazon and people don't even realize that. Wow. And they're here in 2 days because Pottery Barn's kind of backed up right now. So
I guess some people feel like they have to, or it could just be the case where they just don't want to do the homework. They don't want to research it. They see something that they like. But with you could say, hey, you know, I like this, but I don't want to spend this much money. Can you find something similar to it and then make up the space? So, so what motivates you about what motivated you at the moment where you decided that instead of an RN, I mean, I know children come into play, but it's so different from an RN.
Yes.
And then your whole, and I know I'm specifically partial to where you live. I love Sky Ranch, and I know like it's such a beautiful neighborhood. So I know just being in that environment, you can pick up, you know, a lot of clients. But what motivates you about that?
So, I've always been told I kind of have an eye. I dabbled in photography, and I just know, and I just have an eye. And so it's something that you're born with, and so I need to utilize it. It's my creative outlet. And so that's where it feeds my soul when I walk into a space, and I like to make things better. I like to help people. And so if I can make your space better and more functional for you, that makes me so happy, because I say walking into a relaxed space and that's organized makes a calm face, because there's a calmness inside. When you walk into a beautiful hotel that had an amazing designer, and they're designed that way for a reason, because you're on vacation and you just want everything to be pieced together and calm. And, I like to bring natural in, and I just want to make it calm. So you're happy when you get home, your space is complete. There is nothing better than a completed space. And sometimes it only takes a few things to complete it. You might have a room that you love that you're there's just one thing missing. I had someone buy a bench for their dining room table and call me and say, "What do you think about this bench?" So I walk in and I said, "It's amazing." It was actually a really bright color. So it was kind of like a piece of art. She had it tucked all the way under the table. And I said, "There's just one thing that you have left to do." And she's like, "What?" And I pulled it out halfway. I said, "I always want this out halfway." She's like, "Why?" I said, "'Cause you're hiding it. And it's a piece of art." Wow. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, it looks done now." It is, because you were hiding it, and now it's a part of the space. You were hiding it, you couldn't see it.
See, just a little something like
just
that.
Just tweaks like that. Just someone coming in and
And your home has to be special. I mean, you spend a lot of time there. You want to it's just. So I love it when I find the perfect home for someone. It just makes me feel good. You're happy, and it's the same thing with you when you take it that next step forward and you design that space and you love to come home to it. And you're excited all the time. That's just the best feeling. So. Did you have an aha moment where it just stands out in your head that you were just so happy with something that you did that just made you feel wow, I'm where I'm supposed to be?
Yeah, so it actually was just the 48-hour room reno that I did, because I have a friend down the street and she has a very hard time deciding what she wants. And I realized that she had said a few times, "I just need someone to come in and do it." Very just nonchalantly. "I just need someone to come in and just do it." And I was like, "Well, we can do that, but kids get in the way, and schedules and work and everything." So I actually contacted her husband when I knew she was going to be gone for 2 days. It was Friday. I had the idea Friday. She left Tuesday afternoon. And I said, "What do you think if I did this? I would need one person's help, so I have to see if they're on board." And he said, "I trust you. And wow. I think that she would love it." So I started sourcing that Friday. She had no idea. Over the weekend, she had no idea. When I mean by sourcing, I'm going to every single store in our area, ordering things online, priming things, priming lighting, just everything. The only thing she knew is I had designed a feature wall for her. And that weekend, I measured out the wall. I decided how much wood we needed, where the spacing was going to be. I can do all those things. And we put just the trim, we cut the trim pieces for her husband. So her husband knew he needed to put them up before I left on Tuesday, but she didn't know why. So I'd be like, "Hey, Brian, you going to get that wall done?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I think I might be able to." She had no idea what I actually had planned. So I just had to make sure she had a paint color figured out. So I gave her a couple. She's probably like, "Why is she being so bossy with this paint color?" Because I needed the paint color so I could finish the room. Right. So we literally, the minute she walked out, and it was a combined effort with husbands, not him, he was gone with her, but my friend Laura down the street, she's got a great eye as well. And she helped me, and husbands, and we just went to work. We did lighting, we painted walls, all new furniture, rugs, all new bedding, new chandelier, mounting TVs on walls, and then a whole new style, of course. So it went from 0 to 60 very fast. We worked till 11 o'clock at night. But seeing her face when she walked in on Thursday was magical.
Priceless, right?
Priceless. She just could not stop repeating herself. Wow. She was crying, and she said, no one has ever done anything like this for me, which then made me start to cry. Oh. But yeah, and
that's a great story.
And you know what's funny is that, you know how I say there's this pull of when there's spaces that are completed and functional, there's this gravitational pull that we have to spend time in them. She said, like, her son doesn't want to leave her room. He always just wants to be in her room because it's cozy. And it's done. And he's like, my room's next. I want Pokemon, you know?
That is so cool.
And so, but yeah, so that was probably my biggest, I mean, I love helping everyone. And, but that was my biggest reward so far.
That's pretty amazing. Like I would love that, to come home to like a room that's completely done and not to want to leave it. Yeah. I mean, that's perfect.
And budget wise, I'll share because, you know, I'm open budget wise on how much that room cost. The only thing that was not included in this was the headboard. The headboard was already purchased. Okay. It was just kind of sitting there. But it didn't really have a home yet, you know. But $1,600 was the entire room, including paint.
Wow.
That's
doable.
That's dresser, new nightstands, and everything. And if you want to see it, again, it's on my Instagram, Solid with the Dane. But yeah, so very affordable, you know, room reno. And you know how on TV when they like cut to commercial because there's an issue, that really happens. We hit so many snags in that 48 hours, and we had to regroup and, okay, now what are we going to do? What do we need for just the reveal? What do we need? I decided that we were going to get a new dresser, like in the middle of it. I decided like things as we're going. My husband had work meetings in Tampa. Hey, run by here. I have things on hold for you. You know, so it was a collective effort.
You guys
we all work together.
Yeah, it sounds like that. You guys all worked together and got it done. Things always come up that you're not prepared for.
We were not prepared for. The light, we were not. I mean, the FedEx, my face when she handed me a box that was the size of a shoebox for a full-size chandelier, I said, what is this? What is this? And I'm like, this isn't supposed to be a chandelier. What is this? And she's like, it's a light. And I'm like, but it's not the right light. And then I call the person helping me. I'm like, where are you? She's like, what do you need me to do? You know, and there's always a solution for absolutely everything. And when you go to nursing school, you have to have solutions. And in nursing school, we're taught a nursing process on how to think. That has carried over into so many other parts of my life that, you know, there's not a doctor there to hold my hand. I've got to figure it out, you know, so that really has helped me in every other aspect of my life of solving problems, especially, you know, home and family and design ones.
Right. I think it's made you successful because you've utilized those techniques and applied it to everyday life. I think with you, it's in this situation, you were working against the clock. So that makes it, you know, pretty challenging. I want to ask you a little bit about your family. You kind of have a neat story. One of your kids is famous.
Oh, yeah. So, I have a husband. We've been together since we were 15 and 16.
Oh, wow.
We just celebrated our 17 years married, and we've been together for 23 years.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
That's wonderful.
And I have two amazing kids. I have Maverick, who is 8, and Nixon, who is 6. Maverick was actually in Sarasota Magazine. I took a picture of him underneath the Venice Pier when he was 1. Maybe I'll throw that up on my social media so everyone can see who's listening to this. My mom actually was the concierge out at Longboat Key Club and knew someone at the magazine, and they had asked for pictures or something, and my mom sent it in, and they actually chose it. And then my other son, Nixon, he was actually a model for Burt's Bees Baby.
So cool.
He's actually still on Target.com. He's on Amazon. He's on the website still. Did not know that day that they were going to rope me into the photo shoot too, so I'm with him in some of the pictures. But it's a good memory. I worked with an amazing photographer, and they gave me the pictures. Some of them are hanging up in my house as pieces of art.
That's really neat. So you have a family full of talent.
Yeah. So I always say it's nice to wear many hats because you can always take care of yourself, you know, and it's nice to have different outlets for different things that, you know, you need to fulfill yourself. So this is my creative outlet, and I like helping people.
Well, thanks again, Tiffany, for coming and spending some time and talking to us. I'd hire you in a heartbeat.
Thank you.
I think you're super talented. I'm so excited to see like where your career goes with this and just have a blast.
Thank
So,
you. Yeah, I'm
thanks.
so excited too. The calls are rolling in, and I've got work to do, and I'm super excited. And I just can't wait to make unique spaces for people that are functional and make them happy.
Great. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Done.